What is up, guys? This is Andrew with MyWatchAddiction.com, and it is Friday. It is the last in the skeleton watch reviews for Skeleton Week at MyWatchAddiction.com. And yes, I saved the best for last. Today we are going to be taking a look at a skeleton Tissot. Now, in all honesty, I cannot pronounce the name of this watch. I've never been able to. I can't even sound it out. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So right down there on the screen, that is the model of the watch that we're going to be taking a look at today. Before we jump into this though, guys, definitely do me a favor. Down there in the right hand corner of the screen is that subscribe button. Go ahead and smash that guy so you can follow us in the future. Now, let's tear into this Tissot and see what it's all about. So if you haven't had a Tissot before, this is a very typical box that they come in. If we pull the outer sleeve off and flip it around, you can see on the back, it looks kind of like a stack of books. And truth be told, there are a couple of books that usually come with them. One of them is a manual that has all of their models highlighted in it with model numbers. They have a lot of really, really cool looking watches. And then the other book that they usually include is the history of Tissot that talks about the watch company itself and what it's all about. If we open this up, the one thing I dislike about Tissot watches, and I had the same thing with my previous Tissot that I had, which was a Speedstar, I believe. It wasn't a Speedstar. It was a Seamaster. I don't remember what the hell that model was. But the one thing I dislike is I dislike their pillows and the way that they just leave the watches bouncing around in here. I mean, it's kind of cool looking, but it doesn't really hold the watch in any one spot. You also have a microfiber dusting off cloth and then a little pouch. And then you have more instruction manuals, warranty card, the whole 9 yards, right within the sides of this watch box. But that's not why we're here. The other thing that's kind of a pain is shutting them. So this is the Tissot Skeleton that I've been dying to show you guys. I've had this watch in my collection now for probably about 6 months. And when I say in my collection, one thing that's a little bit odd about me is I won't actually wear a watch typically until I've shown it to you guys on the channel. So it's been driving me nuts because this one has literally been sitting on the shelf, not getting any use. And it's, in my estimation, a very gorgeous watch. And this guy deserves to be worn for sure. So if we zoom in on this watch, the first thing you might notice right off the bat is that blue in those Roman numeral indices as well as those hour hands. To me, I love that color blue, and I think that blue looks awesome against that stainless steel movement in the back. Incidentally, that stainless steel movement is an ETA caliber 6497-1. Now that is a completely hand wind movement. It's not an automatic movement, completely hand wind. So even if you're wearing this, you're going to have to hand wind it to make sure it stays charged or energized, I should say. This movement does have a 46-hour power reserve when fully wound. The other thing that I think is kind of interesting about this movement is that second hand dial is at the 9 o'clock position. Usually, if anything, you usually see those at the 6 o'clock position, sometimes even the 3 o'clock position. But having it over at that 9 o'clock position, I think is just a really, really cool design. The crystal on this watch is a sapphire crystal, as well as the display back is sapphire. That'll show you here in a minute. But the case size on this watch is 42 millimeters in diameter, and it has 11 millimeter case thickness. So for me, this is a perfect watch. This is a watch that is going to wear awesome, both with a suit or with a collared and cuffed shirt. Just a really, really nice dress watch. If we flip it around here, you can see you have the T for Tissot right there on the crown. Now, this is not a screw down crown, and consequently this watch only has a water resistance of 50 meters or 165 feet. Now, I talked about that sapphire crystal on that open display case back, and I want to show you what I'm talking about here, because I think this is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely work of art right there. This is my first hand wind only watch. This, again, is not an automatic watch. In order to energize that mainspring, you do have to hand wind this watch. And that's why you don't see the rotor in the back like you typically would in most automatic watches. I just think that is a really, really neat design to the back of that movement. And I think it's almost as gorgeous as the front of the watch. Incidentally, this stainless steel bracelet does have a fold over clasp with safety release, and it does say Tissot right there on the bracelet. Bracelet's extremely thin also. At the lug, it looks like it's 22 millimeters right there at the lug, but when I say thin, there's not a whole lot of thickness to those links. So it looks like it's going to be a very comfortable watch to wear. Now, I actually took this watch in on trade along with another one for a watch that I had previously had. Took this watch in on trade. I estimated, when I took this guy in on trade, I estimated a trade value of about $600, $650. I think because of the trade, because of the other watch I was including, I might have gone up to like $700 on this watch. But if we want to talk about the price of it, directly from Tissot at tissotshop.com, this watch is currently selling for $2,100. Now, recognizing that's the retail price and that we don't need to pay retail in this world, Juma Shop has this exact watch listed for $1,225, which is roughly 42% off that retail of $2,100. However, these watches are available in secondary markets, in trade groups, I see them online all the time. There's quite a few of these guys floating around. And actually, if you jump over to eBay, there's quite a few of these guys for sale right now at roughly $1,100, $1,200 or best offer. But if you take a look at recently sold watches, the recently sold versions of this watch have been averaging anywhere from $650 with a leather strap, which this watch comes with, or with the stainless steel bracelet that, like the version I have now, they're going upwards of $700, $750. So if you can pick up this watch for $600 to $700, I highly, highly recommend it because, well, let me rephrase that. If you like the styling, if you like skeleton dials, if you like thin, very well put together dress watches, I think this is a great buy for that $600 to $700 price range. So that was the Skeleton Tissot that I received in, that's been sitting on my shelf for a little while. Post up in the comments below and let me know what you guys think of this watch. Do you guys think this watch looks as cool as I do? Because I can tell you right now, I love this watch. This is a watch that is going to be in my rotation, and I can guarantee will get a lot of wrist time out of me. I put it on my wrist once, and it's extremely comfortable. I love the looks of it. I love the hand wind movement in it. And there's no reason why this guy is going to be collecting dust. So you guys will definitely be able to see this watch most likely on a regular basis at Instagram/watchaddiction.us, where I show what's on my wrist on a daily basis. Anyway, guys, that is it for Skeleton Week. This is the last skeleton watch that I can think of that I have waiting to be reviewed until I get some more in, obviously. But post up in the comments below and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this watch? Do you hate it? Do you think Tissot is overrated? just post up in the comments below and let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, all 3 of these watches I'm glad to have in my collection. All 3 of these watches are watches I absolutely love more than that D1 Milano skeleton that I received. So it's a happy day for me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. Have an amazing weekend. I will be back on Monday with more watch reviews. Don't forget to check us out, and we'll see you guys later.